Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with Bomac. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you, too.
I know we had a little bit of a run-in the other day at the gym. I was there to interview Josh Taylor and saw you guys also training alongside.
Right, yeah. Well, everybody got to get it in.
Yeah. Just before we get on to the fight, I'm just curious, that Josh Taylor has been saying he's been wanting a Terence Crawford fight.
Yeah,
they were in the same room together. I found that quite interesting. What did you make of Josh?
We don't turn nothing down but our collars. So if he want to get it on, we can get it on.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a great fight for a couple rounds to Terence probably take over and then later on stopping him in the later rounds.
What do you make of Josh saying that he would like to go up to 147? How do you think he'll do against the big boys?
I think he'll do great. I think he'll do well. I think he should start off, like the mid-levels of B-plus fighters. Some of those guys is ranked 7th, 8th, and 9th, or, maybe 3rd or 4th, and then try his hand at a title.
Well, we just finished the main event press conference, and I'm just curious what you sort of made of some of the things that were said. You guys sort of reiterated that, you guys were taking this camp a little bit differently, seriously, and on the Porter side, they were kind of confused why you would do that. Almost sort of insinuating as though they didn't have to do anything different to sort of train for Terence. What did you sort of make of all that?
I found that kind of funny that Kenny said that, and I know him. I know him very well, and I know that when he trains his son, that he's intense. He wanted to get his son to do the things that he needs to do in the ring. But for him to say that he's cruising through camp and always stay professional, that kind of baffled me a little bit. But it's different with me because I know how Shawn's going to come and I know how Kenny's going to coach him. So, we's high octane, high level every single day, even on our rest days. Mm-hmm. So whatever they bring to the table, I want to make sure that we physically, mentally, and in shape and ready to go to push back at it.
Shawn Porter said and made it very clear that he intends to knock out Terence Crawford. That's the goal. Obviously, Terence, no one's been able to do that. What did you make of Shawn making that prediction?
Well, I think he's supposed to say that as a fighter, and I hope he believes that and within inside himself, because the fact that nobody never done it, and it's almost impossible with the bookies for Shawn to do it, but it ain't impossible. Mm-hmm. So, again, I'm gonna say it again. That's why we train at a high level every single day. For if he do bring that, if he try to bring that mindset to the ring, we're gonna be ready for him.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people really want to see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. It seems like for a moment there we were getting some sort of talk. Now it seems as though it's dead in the water. How do you sort of feel about the whole situation? And is that a fight you obviously want to see for Terence at some point down the road?
Well, what Terence wants is he want to unify the division, and he said he's dead talking about it, he's done talking about it, and so I'm gonna have to back him up on that, and that's what the fighter wants to do. He's been iterated that to me many times, so to us it's dead right now.
What seems to be the roadblock? Because, you're obviously getting one guy saying one thing, the other guy saying the other. From your perspective, what's the issue?
Well, I think the issue is because Terence been wanting to fight the dude, and the dude just kind of been like, oh, hold up, or go get a belt, or do this, or come on this side of the street. So, man, after a while, you get tired of hearing that stuff. So, fuck it, it's time to move on.
Right. I know, but as fight fans, we don't want to hear that.
Yeah, you don't want to hear it, and you don't want to hear it, and sometimes as a trainer, you don't want to hear it, but it's the fighter's choice.
Right.
And, you got to respect it.
Absolutely. What does a win over Shawn Porter sort of mean for you guys? What sort of statement does that send everyone else at the 147?
Well, I think it's going to shut all the critics up, because everybody's been doubting Terence and saying he's not an elite 147-pounder. He's not. He shouldn't be on the pound-for-pound list. The win's going against Shawn, and hopefully we get it in a good fashion, maybe a stoppage, and it's going to send shockwaves through the division.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, I got to ask, for a moment there, it seemed as though you may be training Amir Khan. We know that the fight between him and Kell Brook seems to be looming as a possibility at this point for February. Will you be training him for that fight if it does happen?
Well, Amir's doing camp a week from Monday, on the 27th, so I haven't heard anything different. I talked to his wife, a couple times a week, so that's what we pulling for, and that's what we're going to start training for.
So if in fact the fight does happen, you will be training him for that fight?
Yes,
okay.
We will be training for that fight. We've been working on this probably for like the last 6 or 7 months to try to get the best situation for him so he can train at the highest level.
Okay. Well, Bo, thank you so much for your time. One last topic that I'd like to ask you about. What's your thoughts on Canelo moving up to cruiserweight?
I think that's what he want to do. I mean, he proved himself as one of the best fighters, and if that sanctioned body is going to let him, go right ahead. Hell, shit, ain't nothing but more money for him.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. We'll speak with you hopefully post-fight.
Okay.
All right. Bye, fight fans. Hey, fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button below so that you can receive an alert every time we upload a new video.